Hello, my name is Dan Allen. I'm Product Marketing Manager for Domino and VoltMX Go, and we wanted to invite you this morning to our webinar on how to create amazing experience in VoltMX. And Suha Spot, our Director of Product Management for that product, is here today and is going to share some really interesting things that you can do with VoltMX. As attendees, we do encourage you to ask questions. In your GoToWebinar control panel, you have a questions panel. If you will actually put your questions in the questions panel, then we will hopefully try to get to some of those at the end. And then we will also be able to record who asked what in case we need to follow up on some things. So feel free again to ask questions. We really encourage that. So Suhas, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Dan. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Suhas. I'm the head of product management for VoltMX, VoltMX Go, Leap, and Domino Leap. In this particular session, we are going to look at how to create amazing experiences with VoltMX. So as you may be familiar, VoltMX is an application development platform, but you might not be aware or might not be familiar with quite a few things that you can do with the applications. So I wanted to take a stab at showing a few things that might be of interest. This is the various content I'm trying to cover in this call, at least show a demo for pretty much all of them, and give you helpful links for you to, if you're interested in building something like this into your app, how you can go ahead with that. Okay. With that, let's start off with the animations. So animations in VoltMX is quite straightforward. We have APIs out of the box, no code APIs as well for creating. So I wanted to show a sample of how you can. So this is a sample that one of our TAs had put in for even a simple thing like a login screen. So the APIs and stuff are mentioned in this link, and we use it usually extensively to create a jazzy kind of an effect. And in this particular thing, we are also using other widgets like map and camera, and using a character recognition to, you can tie in that with the camera to identify a specific thing. In this particular case, like trying to find out where there is an outage, we're trying to use that as a means of trying to connect the camera with character recognition and tying it to a specific thing. So this is showing specifically animation. You can also get animation outside of VoltMX, so to speak. So there is a website called as Lottie, and Lottie has animations that it boils it down to a JSON format. Okay, so with that, it has hundreds of thousands of files of free animations, or you can create your own animations too if you so desire. So you can look at any kind of animation that you are interested in from this, and then you will be able to export this into VoltMX and then choose that particular animation from within your app. And because it is JSON and it works well with VoltMX, we have integrated to this. So I'm just showing a few samples of vector animations built with VoltMX. I'm sorry, using Lottie into VoltMX. So this is a cute looking monster, or you can have a loading screen, or you can have, if it is something related to calendar or animating all the bits within that screen, you can achieve several different things. And as I said, because it has a big open source library kind of a thing, you can leverage what is there, or it is free for you to create your own animation. Some of the animations that you see here, I had made it myself too. So this is another means of putting in animations within the application built with VoltMX. So we also wanted to show you another, again, this session is going to be a lot of videos and demos, because effectively we are trying to showcase the power, right? So something that is very often used, especially if you're in a field service or stuff like that, is capturing signature, generating PDFs, seeing the app in light or dark mode, so that based on where you are, it is still very clearly visible. So this is an app that one of my team members had built specifically for a coffee house maintenance, so to speak. And here we are seeing the integration with maps. This is the thing showing in dark mode, calendar, where you can schedule your things, and you can switch between dark and light mode. So based on the light, you can see the same thing, same functionality in different layouts. I'm going to skip through some of this. So this one is a full-fledged application for field services, including the expenses they are occurring to drive to that, the meals that they're eating, so that they can charge it back and create an expense report out of it and such. So I'm going to skip through some of this. It has calendar integration and ability to have a pre-set checklist which they can validate against. And once all this information has been put in, say the inspection has been done, you can trigger your camera from within the app itself, take snapshots of whatever you're servicing, so to speak, and put that along with the task details that were performed by the technician while they were at that particular site where they were performing that inspection or maintenance, and they can create their signature. So all of this is within the form, and this information you can generate into a PDF directly from within the app, and you can even get that PDF emailed to you. So once that PDF is generated, you can see the generated PDF in the device, as well as the images that were there, the signature that was there, and you also have the ability to email this to whoever is needed. So say a technician has finished that, they can email the report back to the manager or back office to have a look, so to speak. So this is to show few capabilities like digital signature, PDF generation, light and dark mode. Okay. Now moving on to another aspect. So a lot of the reports nowadays need charts and visual inspection of data or visual representation for the data. So we wanted to showcase building a dashboard and showing how this can be done. So this one is specifically a sales dashboard showing wins by geo, by different place, by different products. But the purpose is basically to show all the different visualization capabilities where you can zoom in, zoom out, you can trigger and see a specific slice, and you can we have integration with several different charting libraries that are there in the Voltamix marketplace. You can use a chart.js or a show list at the end, Google Charts or any other charting library, or we have built-in charts for several different visualizations as well. And Voltamix also supports themes. So basically a theme is the combination of the skins and visual effects for all the things that are in the application. It could be a button, background, text, label, font size. So for the same application, depending on who is logging in, you can completely change the look and feel of the app by just setting all of them as part of a theme. So that is what we are showing here by toggling the theme and showing the UI change. And you can see that based on the theme, we are bringing in a background. You can even change wholesale things like fonts and stuff, but that was not done for this particular app. But theming is another way of easily getting look and feel changed dynamically at runtime from within the application. Okay, so this was showing visualization and charts, so to speak. Another asset which is used quite often nowadays is seeing if you can put in chatbots. So putting in a chatbot is quite easy, especially if you're just talking about putting in a GPT or something that is already there. It is just a question of integrating that API within Iris, within the app that you're building, and then you can use it to ask any kind of questions that you have. So this one is a simple FAQ kind of an app that was built, and where it is whatever is being asked here is being sent to um, uh, um, chat engine at the back, and then getting the result back and putting it in. This one is untrained, so to speak, so it is going based off of any content that is there available in the market, right? So basically it is looking at public documentation and stuff like that. You might also want to make a chatbot that is specific for your use case and looking at it, in which case you can build it specifically with the intents and backend data for your use case. So this is showing a sample of an realty specific type of app where the realtor is, or I mean, the end user is interacting with the chatbot and trying to find out, okay, um, if I use this, how will it affect my credit score? How do I apply for a loan? And it, in this case, it is going and checking specific data that is available either in public, or if it is talking about a specific loan, this thing going and hitting if that data is available for that backend and getting the data for it. And in some cases it also can go and query services. So when you're asking about, okay, what would be my monthly expense for this, then it has to know that person's credit rating and information, which can assume is probably part of this. And it will, further ask, okay, if you're going for a 30-year rate, how it would be, and what would be my monthly mortgage and stuff like that. So you can build these kind of things using a combination of public data as well as private data, and you have the choice of using your own um, data models or public models that are there and building such applications as well. um, you can also go and use the ability to train um, object identification. So for example, in this use case, we have trained it to identify a keyboard, a bottle, a phone, and stuff like that. So depending on the training that is done, you can train it to identify different things in a factory, so to speak. Or if you're going for a maintenance, it can identify the different parts that make up that particular setting. And then you can use it to, in the combination of augmented reality, to visually overlay some of that and do that. So you can build more cool looking applications too. I will show a sample of augmented reality pieces as well later, to see how you can combine multiple of this. In this particular instance, we are using the fingertip to track, to kind of, along with augmented reality, right on and on the camera overlay. So this is another kind of um, cool looking UI that you can build, which could be specifically for maintenance or stuff. If the technician is not aware, or they can overlay a model of the component along with this and use this to guide them, or at least find if they are doing it the right way, or even for capturing after the maintenance, so to speak, capturing that information and creating a report. These kind of visualizations can help in that regard as well. So we showed a hand, but you can extend it to an entire body as well. Here it is tracking different parts of the movement of the child and trying to create how it is being moved. So this, something like this could also be used for um, checking if they're having the correct uh, safety equipment on, or in some cases you can even create an animation model of something based on what a person did, because you're tracking different movements. Again, they become more advanced use cases, but this is basically trying to show the art of the possible of what you can do with this kind of technology and this kind of capabilities that are available in the product, right? So we looked at animation, we looked at chatbot and machine learning camera. Next, we are going to look at NFC, which is near field communication, right? So basically, for NFC to work, you have to link it, and then you can use it for tagging. So we'll also show a use case of how it could be practically used, right? So NFC basically is reading tag and writing to tag, right? And you can read a tag to identify whether somebody is in a specific location, whether they are checking into an office with the device that has been provided by the employer, so to speak. And you can choose what all data that has to be read and written from it. So once you have written something to the tag, you have a scanner. Once it is near that, it can read that data from that tag, and then you can present whatever information it is made to read. So in this specific use case, we are showing how you can write to a tag about geolocation, and then how you can read that tag off of that, right? And this is, I think, the same thing looking from another device perspective as to how the NFC tag is just kept. So I'm gonna skip this because I think whoever has worked with NFC is quite aware of that. Now we look at a scenario of how an admin and a user can use NFC for a simple thing like a security, like bringing in laptops that are only assigned by the company, say within the office premises, so to speak, right? So first, an admin says, okay, they log in and they create the different asset groups with the person and the tag and stuff that they have configured, right? They're creating their groups and configuring the device and configuring which location that is for, and then they are tagging it and setting it up in their system. So now their system recognizes that this person in this thing is allowed for that. Now say a user walks in into that office where they have logging in with the same app, but as a user, not as an admin. And once they log in and they get um, into it, so they just get a simple thing like a device check. They do a scan, and then it recognizes the tag from that, and it identifies all the information that was put in with that thing, and then they can easily say, okay, this is an authorized device, this is not an authorized device, because the backend does not have information of that particular tag. So this way you can combine NFC and make simple security processes work in any kind of an environment. So this is just showing one example of how this can be used, but of course NFC can be used with payments and a lot of other things, data sharing, but this was a more practical use case that we thought we could demo. Another aspect that I wanted to show was augmented reality. And how you can use augmented reality within apps built with VoltMX, and how you can enhance the end user experience, right? So when we talk about augmented reality as is, there are several different types of AR, right? One is a location-based AR, where it is using the user's location and direction that they are pointing the phone to show up different areas of interest, like businesses, hotels, restaurants, and stuff like that. So that is the sample that we have here. Then you have stuff like marker-based AR, which is like you're in a retail outlet and you're looking through your phone, and it can show stuff like, okay, this one has 50% off, that one is 20% off, or there is a sale going and stuff like that, where it is using geolocation beacons as well as identifying the barcodes or markers in the retail, for example, to build it. And another type of thing called as markerless AR, in which we all, I think, have looked at something like this one time or the other, is basically having 3D renderings of the model that you can put in, say, in your living room if you're buying furniture, and see how it looks. And you can make it bigger, smaller, put it in a specific location and see that, right? So all types of these applications can be built with VoltMX, and I'll show you a few video demos of that. So from VoltMX perspective, we have a AR widget per se, but it is going to be reliant on whatever is the underlying technology, whether it is iOS or Android, and in combination with the that as well as the models itself, right? So if you're talking about markerless, the actual 2D or 3D model has to be generated through some other site, and then you create it, you import that within the application, and then you're using it to build it. And you can connect using Foundry to have data coming from some other service and embedding it, but the model itself is built outside, and then it is using the iOS AR kit or Android AR core for the actual rendering. And we have sample apps for showing this kind of augmented reality applications as well. So now let's look at how something like this would look, right? So we are going to have multiple renderings of here for the same app. So this is kind of a retail outlet. So you are trying to look at, okay, if there is a glass, if I'm wearing it, how does it look, and how it changes based on the head movement. It still tracks it, and it can see how it would look. You can also use it for a hat or any other thing that you want to visually call out for augmented reality. We'll also look at placing something, and this is a sample that is there in the marketplace for Voltamex as well. Simple 3D objects like, okay, there is a pot I'm trying to place in the garden, and see how it is. I can move it, I can make it bigger, smaller, and there are hundreds of these kinds of models already out there in the market for free. If there is something specific for this thing that you want to create a model, you'll have to create it if it has to be very precise. Otherwise, you can use one of the models that are there for representation to get a hang of the technology and what you can do. So this is all adding an object kind of a scenario. We looked at different things. You can also extend this for image detection. So basically, I can train that camera to identify, okay, this one is specifically some information about Voltamex, so I can show some architecture diagram on top of as an overlay on the screen. And if I've trained it to detect some other thing, and then it can try to play a video. So what you are playing or what you're showing is dependent on excuse me, how you want to show. But you basically have to train the camera or the ML camera to identify these things, so that based on the identification. So if you remember earlier, I showed a video where it identified something as a bottle and just put a text overlay saying it was bottle. So this one is taking it a step higher. The identification part is still the same. It identified it as a specific thing, and then it chose to, based on that identification, what do? I can do an overlay of anything. I can do an overlay of an image, a video, or I can even take them on that, do some other action, move them to a different page, or do some other service call. So basically, that is only a trigger, and what you do with the trigger is up to you in terms of the capabilities of the platform. Okay. So this is all again to give a sense of what is doable, what is the power of the platform and such. So we looked at AR and animation and NFC and all that. So now let's look at some other ways of um, quickly highlighting or launching specific content from within the app. Okay, so there is a functionality called as app clip, which is available, I think, only for iOS. So app clip is basically a part of the application that has been built. That is basically, it can be discovered right when you want it, and then I mean, it is for like just-in-time requirements, right? You can use it for just-in-time requirements, like I'm paying for a parking spot, or I'm paying for a coffee, so to speak. So instead of downloading the entire application, you're taking a part of it, and then sorry. Yeah, you're taking a part of the application and launching it and then using it, right? So, and the app clip itself can be launched by anything. You can have a QR code in the restaurant or the parking lot, or the parking sticker, or you can have that link being sent via an email, a message, or a push notification. It could be triggered by an NFC tag, or even placing cards in maps. So several ways of triggering it, and it is for specifically doing just one task, and I don't have to download the full app. The full app might be 40 MB. I'm only interested in paying something specific, and you are just paying for that and you're done with that, right? So, and this can be also be used as a promotional thing for, okay, this is like I have all these wonderful services, but you're only using this. I'm showing this, and at the same time having some demo of it. I'm sorry, a marketing content of more capability showing behind the scene. So here, this is showing an app clip where somebody scanned something and they're just ordering coffee. So it is only showing them that what coffee do you want to order, and order it. And basically, say you're in the restaurant already and you're at a specific table, you can just use this kind of an app for ordering what you're trying to order from the menu, right? Instead of having all of it. So this was showing a sample of app clip where you're showing a specific portion of the app and doing it at launch. I'm sorry, just in time. Another capability that is there, specifically if you're building from an iOS perspective, is home screen widgets. So this is like basically you have an app which has a lot of capability, but I want to have some part of it showing up on my home screen, even if I have closed the app and stuff like that. So I'm basically ordering something. I just need to know when it is going to come. I don't want to have the app open it all the time, so to speak, right? So, or an airline you're paying and you want to see what is the it got delayed. You want to see what is the current time. So you wanted that to be just a widget in the corner. And the widget itself can be a different size. It can be small, medium, large. And you can have different configurations for it, like whether you want to reload it, you don't want to reload it, or you want to reload it at a particular frequency. It can go back to the parent app, and you can design these directly from within the Iris canvas. So for this example, I'm going to show a food ordering kind of a thing. So this is the app where you are going to go and order whatever you're creating, right? And once I've ordered, then I'm creating a specific uh, widget, and this is showing the different sizes of widgets for it. So I can have small, medium, large. I chose a large one, and here it is saying, okay, this is where I ordered it from, this is how far it is, and I can choose to have different small, medium, large, all kinds of widgets there as well, right? So you can specifically show what is the time or how far it is, what is the price. You can choose whatever type of widget size you want to put in the home screen, and you can create those, remove it, edit it. But basically, while I'm looking at something else, I can get the notification, and this is real time. You can choose it to update and get the information, and you can click it and go back to the home screen as well if you want, right? To the parent application, so to speak. So this is another cool, quick use kind of a feature that is there in Voltemex for the app clip and the home screen widgets that we showed about. So we looked at a lot of capabilities and how you can go ahead, go and do some of this. So we also wanted to, just in the interest of having some more fun, wanted to show a game that one of our TAs built using Voltemex, called they call it Tetris Sudoku, basically combining Tetris logic with the Sudoku and building all this from within the platform itself. This actually is a fun game. I think the URL is also there. I'll have it in the thing, links as well, so that you can also go and see. So again, just trying to show the capabilities of the platform, what you can do, how you can go ahead and to seed the art of the possible kind of ideas in your head as well, so that you can see what you can do with a platform like Ultimex, right? Now, we looked at a lot of components and samples. I have links for several of them in terms of whether a marketplace content or in terms of animation, just the APIs that you can use, which are directly available. Many of them do not need you to even code and is directly available. Something like an ML camera, you will have to train it for your specific requirement. The capability is there, but the training and stuff has to be done by the end user. So Ultimex Marketplace is basically how we surface a lot of these capabilities and help our developer ecosystem. So the goal of the marketplace for Voltamix is like, we want to help you accelerate your development so that if you have an idea, you're not trying to start from scratch, you're leveraging pre-built assets and using that as a base to save you time. And, it also is like, okay, it is not going to fit your need perfectly, but it will give you probably 50-60% of what you need, and then you can configure it further for your requirements. And you can also boost your productivity and expand the capabilities, because you might not even have known that, hey, something like this is possible with this platform, um, like a carousel view or an augmented reality or all the app clips and stuff. So there are hundreds of components in this Voltamix marketplace, and they're of very different types. Like you have application components, which has both UI and backend, or you just have code modules, or in case of Go, we also have Volt script extensions, data models, sample apps, data connectors. So there are several types of components. If you're just trying to do, a login or an advanced hamburger menu or a PDF viewer or a barcode scanner, you have samples for a lot of these in the marketplace which you can readily use. You have 400 plus adapters, data adapters that can connect to various different backends, and basically anything that is REST or has an API can be connected to easily from Voltamix. So it is not limited to the hundreds of connectors we have. It can basically connect to anything, and we also have the ability to write custom code if there is really a very proprietary connector, which proprietary backend which does not have something we have out of the box. We also have dozens of AI specific components that we have put into the marketplace, which range from text extraction to OCR, image generation, content generation, or even plagiarism detection or chat bots and stuff like that. So all these samples are also in marketplace, and everyone can sign up and easily see all the content in the marketplace. Earlier, I showed you um, data visualizations and charting capabilities and stuff. So we have dozens of charting libraries and stuff pre-built are available in the marketplace, which you can leverage. You can build any type of chart. You can use your own different library like chart.js or D3, or we can go for a specific type of chart like line or scatter chart or bipolar, and choose that, and then be able to build or hook that into your specific application, and then use these visualizations. And you can use all these to enhance the end user experience and such for the application. Now, we looked into a lot of content, and there are samples for a lot of things that I showed, like how to go and build an app for ARKit, and the sample that I showed is also already there. The documentation for the augmented reality API or the machine learning camera widget are also there, and there are several marketplace components like for the Lottie animator, image generator, AI, text recognition, PDF viewer, signature capture, so that even after this call, you can go ahead and start exploring some of this if you have not looked at these kind of things earlier. Okay. Now, I know I was doing a lot of information dump. Um, I'm going to go through the questions that are there and answer them. And if you have any other questions, feel free to put them in at this point of time. Okay. So AI Dev Toolkit, yeah, it is an umbrella. Okay, that is just a term that we have used in that, but AI itself is available in multiple perspective. As I showed you, you can go off of the components in the marketplace. We also have AI, which is built into Volt Iris, into Volt IQ itself. This specific session was around experiences that you can build with Voltamix. So I did not cover some of those aspects. We will have an AI specific webinar in future where we can go into anything and everything AI with respect to Voltamix. But yeah, it is just a broader term that I've used. Yeah, this is somebody had asked, can we share this recording with our clients? Yes, the webinar is being recorded, and post that. I think Dan can correct me, but we usually also put this into YouTube. So you will have a recording link that you can share with whoever is interested.
Yes, we will. We would definitely post this on our Digital Solutions YouTube channel. I'll probably post it there tomorrow. So we'll have that posted very, very quickly. So yes.
Okay. So are there any other, okay, there are some more questions. Let me look. Can third-party charts be used, such as Google Charts, to build a dashboard? Yes, you can use any chart. So as I showed you, we showed a dozen or so here, but it is not limited to that. Any widget that you are interested in, you can put into the app that you're building with VoltMX. These are what we have pre-integrated samples that are already in marketplace. If somebody else, so the marketplace, the idea is basically it has to be a community. So anybody who's a customer, user, even a trial user or partner can contribute to the marketplace. If you build something that you think is cool or can benefit somebody else, you can contribute it back to the marketplace. The components in marketplace are usually free for use from anybody in the developer community. So if you have a specific charting library that you would want to build a component and put into marketplace, you can do that. You can also create a request if you want us to build something, but we have a very limited team and we can take that request up. But in a lot of cases, it might be easier if you have an interest in, if you want to contribute and help us, we appreciate that. All right. In that case, thanks everyone for joining. I hope this session has been informational and useful to you. And I hope it has given you some new ideas of what you can do with VoltMX. And happy coding. Thanks, everyone.